You will experience fear. Fear in the face of certain death.
The whole idea of going where no one's gone before, it's sort of like this cliche. It's been around for like half a century. But when you actually think about it, there's a sort of false sense of being all-knowing that we have. And there's an amazing adventure and a sort of scary one underlying at that, in that notion of going where you have never been. What does that mean? What will we find? And I think there's that sense of discovery is intrinsic to Star Trek, and I think a unique and kind of refreshing idea.
Who are you?
I'm with him. He's with me.
We are traveling at warp speed. How did you manage to beam aboard this ship?
Hey, you're the genius, you figure it out.
As acting captain of this vessel, I order you to answer the question.
Well, I'm not telling, acting captain.
There's something elemental about the characters, you know, that the dichotomy between the logical Spock and the passion of Kirk, and there's something that speaks to our psyche about that. And there's also the sense of optimism and hope about the Enterprise and its mission of peace is something that doesn't get uncool as the decades go on.
I watched the original series a lot because I felt like that original character was so great. There's such a wonderful kind of spirit to him, and I wanted to capture that spirit, so I would just watch the original series a lot.
To be part of something that's been so special for 40-somewhat years, to play characters that have affected people so much, that have compelled them to become devoted fans of it for so long, it would have been very crazy on my behalf to sort of walk away from that and not dive into it.
I couldn't believe it when the bartender told me who you are.
It's a testament to JJ that he's made a film that has such a broad appeal. It's not, he didn't just make a film for Trekkers, he made a film for everybody. It doesn't matter if you've never even seen an episode of Star Trek, you can go along to this movie and have a phenomenal ride because it's fun, action-packed, character-driven.
Good luck.
I wasn't really prepared for how physical, how intense it was going to be. And it's amazing to see what ILM was able to do with stuff that when we were shooting wasn't clearly as dramatic as it ended up on screen, and it is just incredible.
It was challenging in the sense that I hadn't done action before in my career, so this was completely new turf for me.
I think Gene Roddenberry was an absolute visionary. I mean, from the technology that we hold in our hands today and the echoes that they call to the tricorders and the communicators on the show, but also in a very sort of intellectual way. I think he was dealing with notions and ideas at a time when there was a tremendous amount of unrest, civilly, socially, politically in our country, and he was able to deal with things and appeal to an audience of great intellect and forward-thinking notions.
Star Trek, shows us a vision of our future that is not like so many things that we've seen, dark and post-apocalyptic and, dire. There's fear and, battle, but there's a wonderful kind of humanity to this world, and it sort of says that we all have to collaborate, work together, and cross sort of, racial, cultural, sexual, even special boundaries to kind of collaborate, work together, and that's how we'll survive, that's how we'll thrive.